Hello, everybody. For the next 6 episodes of Melody Motel, we're relocating to the great nation of Canada, or as my daughter would say, America's hat. And why are we heading to the land of hockey, poutine, and sweet, sweet socialized healthcare? To explore the catalog of one of Canada's greatest rock exports, Halifax, Nova Scotia's Sloan. These shows will lead up to Sloan's live show at the Hi-Fi in Indianapolis in September, which I will be attending along with several friends of the show. Thanks for heading north with us to the Melody Motel. Here's the part of the show where I plunder the band's Wikipedia page. Sloan was formed in 1991 at the Nova Scotia College of Art and Design, and they played their first show in the school cafeteria. After releasing an EP called Peppermint on their own label, Murder Records, the group was signed to Geffen Records and released their debut full-length album, Smeared, in 1992. They have gone on to release 11 more full-length studio albums, including 2018's numerically titled 12, in addition to numerous singles, EPs, and in proper rock tradition, a double live album. In the spirit of bands like the Beatles, Fleetwood Mac, and Badfinger, Sloan has multiple songwriters in the band who all take a turn at the mic to sing their own compositions. In fact, all 4 members of Sloan write and sing. Bassist Chris Murphy is the de facto frontman and main spokesman for Sloan. His songs tend to fall into the category of straight-ahead pop rock, and he's written some of the band's greatest hits. Guitarist Patrick Pentland provides the group's hard rock conscience. He even situates his microphone at a downward angle like Lemmy. On the opposite side of the stage, guitarist Jay Ferguson is the pure pop tunesmith, and on drums, Andrew Scott contributes the band's most challenging off-kilter tracks. Murphy and Scott even switch instruments so Scott can take center stage to sing, and they don't miss a beat. This episode will cover the band's first 2 records, the aforementioned Smeared and 1994's Twice Removed. For the most part, the band disparages Smeared and dismisses it the way one would an awkward junior high photo. In an interview with the website Brooklyn Vegan, Chris Murphy said, "I don't want to speak for Jay, but I was really kind of embarrassed at the time of the sound of our first album, Smeared. It was so of the time and behind the times at that. Our blueprint for making that record was Isn't Anything by My Bloody Valentine, which was a record that came out in 1988. Maybe we were ahead of the curve in Halifax, but I felt like if we went to England, we'd be the laughingstock." On the other hand, Jay Ferguson, speaking to Noisy, said, "I still love Smeared. It's the record we made in a living room in Halifax, and it got us signed. In Canada, the music press really called it a grunge record, but we felt it was more of a British record informed by those bands on Creation Records, whether it was Ride, Swerve Driver, or My Bloody Valentine, or even things like Dinosaur or Sonic Youth. I'd say Underwhelmed still holds up, and it's the song that did it for a lot of people. I think it's excellent. It just feels like an early record to me, like the first Beatles record, which I still love." What I'm going to do on this series is play 2 full songs from each album, the biggest single, and my favorite that is not the biggest single. So here's Sloan from their first album, Smeared, and Underwhelmed.
She was underwhelmed, if that's a word. I know it's not, 'cause I looked it up. That's one of the skills that I learned in my school. I was overwhelmed, and I'm sure of that one, 'cause I learned it back in grade school when I was young. She said you was funny, I said you are funny. She said thank you, and I said never mind. And she rolled her eyes, her beautiful eyes. Point is not the grammar, it's the feeling that is certainly in my heart, but not in hers, but not in hers, but not in hers, but not in hers, but not in We were talking about people that eat meat. I felt like an ass 'cause I was one. She said it's okay, but I felt like I just ate my young. She's obviously a person with the cause. I told her that I don't smoke or drink. She told me to loosen up on her way to the LC. She skips her classes and gets good grades. I go to my courses, rain or shine. She's passed her classes while I attend mine. While I attend mine. While I attend mine.
You're listening to the History of Sloan on the Melody Motel podcast.
Just checking in. You don't know who I am.